Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to talk about Faceless Characters. I've been playing a lot more Halo recently. It's something that I've just started to get back into doing, and now that Disney Plus is out, I'm also watching The Mandalorian. So why would you try to use one? Primarily how it's described is more for a eerie and more mysterious atmosphere for a character. So sometimes you might want to hide the person's face because they're the villain and they're very strange. Think like Darth Vader. Or maybe they're supposed to be a very powerful wizard, or what's it, the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come? There's a mystery to them, we don't know everything about them. Now I'm going to focus in on Darth Vader because there's not much to say about the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and Grim Reaper I think is just a skeleton under... or he's at least got a skull face, I think, under that hood. With Darth Vader, it cuts us off from his humanity. It's the same thing done with the Mandalorian, slightly. We don't see their response to things. They could do like a subtle look to the side or a subtle movement, but otherwise there's not really anything to gauge a response from. We don't know if they're like rolling their eyes or something. Now the reason, obviously, to do this is if you want to have a more cold, heartless character. Or simply the villain. As I said, with Darth Vader, it made not only us disconnect from his humanity, seeing him much more easily as the bad guy. And then obviously in the last one, we get the face reveal, because his humanity has returned and he has returned to the light side. Why Master Chief's face was revealed at the end of Halo 4, or his eyes, and why the Mandalorian's face was revealed at the end of Season 1 of The Mandalorian. Because they're stories of humanity. Characters either discovering or becoming more human. With Master Chief, it was him kind of becoming less of a machine and more of a person. With The Mandalorian, it was very similar to Darth Vader. It was him moving away from being this heartless, kind of pinpoint-focused bounty hunter to being more caring, I guess. I mean, he's raising a child. Going back to my main point. Mainly, people use it as a way of separating you from a character's humanity and establishing this aura of mystery to who they are. Now, there's a complete opposite way you can use this, which is actually to make a character more relatable. Which is really weird, because it's like, oh, but if you remove their face, then they become less human, but you can also do this to make them more relatable? I point to Red vs. Blue and Gone with the Blast Wave. With Red vs. Blue, this is obviously an interesting case because it's a technical limitation that didn't go away until kind of Volume 8, but not Volume, Series 8, more so Series 9, was when they first started showing characters, starting with Agent North Dakota. With Red vs. Blue, the reason that they hide the main character's faces because they can't really show what they look like. We've only gotten little hints as to what characters look like. Like, for instance, we know that Tucker isn't black, and we know that Sister isn't blonde. But besides that, I think there are no other examples of what they look like. Without getting to spoiler territory, Tex and Church have altering appearances. Lopez is a robot, so, you know, not really got a physical body there to talk about. If you look online, you can find lots of, like, fan-made faces for these characters, and you'll notice that they do range, and this kind of is because people can imagine them as whatever they want. Like me, personally, I kind of view Sarge as almost a very Sully appearance, with the kind of cigar and everything. You know, I imagine Caboose with kind of clean-cut, almost Sheldon Cooper kind of appearance. You know, Tucker probably tries to look cool, you know, and is failing. However, with Gone with the Blast Wave, I actually think it's more effective at making you feel more like you're at least one of the members. Due to the fact the very few identifying features of the different main characters, to the point that I don't even think the main two characters have names, and the Pyro is only ever listed as to once actually having an identifying gender, being that the Pyro is a he, and I assume that the Sniper is also supposed to be a he, but I don't believe that there's any statement of his gender. With Gone with the Blast Wave, it actually amplifies your relatability because you can very much view the characters as you. As I said, there's very few identifying traits about the characters. Beyond their personality through their dialogue, there's obviously no skin shown because of the contaminated area that they live in. They never take off their helmets because of obviously the same reason that they don't take off their heavy gear. And as far as I'm aware, at no point in the canon of Gone with the Blast Wave has any character actually taken off their helmets or masks. Even the civilians wear them. So when should you use a faceless protagonist? For villains primarily, it works if you have them as very cold characters. If your character is more lively and out there, you may struggle to get across some of their emotions. And it means that you end up having to do something closer to Deadpool, where you end up having to somehow make them more expressive without actually showing their face. But if you're going with a more cold character, like Darth Vader or maybe Locus, then I think it will work perfectly. If you're going to make a character more relatable, you probably want to have a bunch of characters that don't have their faces shown. This will make it easier, as this way then there's enough variety of characters for people to more likely latch on. Now, making a relatable character is a completely different story, and in theory, if you can utilize it quite well, you could pull it off. If you have two characters that have kind of opposing personalities, but are both still likable, then you could definitely get away with it as long as they're both faceless, and in that way people most likely put themselves on the one that they identify with more. I'll probably edit this and think that it's terrible and then delete it like the others I did. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you all later. Bye.